It gets worse. Shandy Sullivan's story became one of the most disturbing and controversial moments in ANTM's history. Shandy entered the competition as a shy Walgreens employee, someone who lacked confidence but was transforming throughout the competition. Her storyline focused heavily on her growth and her relationship with her boyfriend, Eric, back home, and her journey from an inexperienced model into a serious contender. The controversy occurred during the contestants' trip to Milan. After a night out, Shandy and the other contestants invited over some of the male models they had worked with that day, and a visibly drunk Shandy would end up in a hot tub with one of the models, basically making out with him, and was later filmed in bed with him. The next morning, she's shown looking utterly depleted and breaking down in tears while calling her boyfriend to confess what had happened the night before. The episode focused heavily on her guilt and her fear that she had ruined her relationship and the crazy emotional fallout, all of which was filmed in a grotesque, intrusive manner. The original 2004 episode framed what happened that night as a cheating scandal, but since Shandy was admittedly and visibly drunk, we all know you cannot give informed consent when you are inebriated. So what took place was in truth much darker than the show ever depicted, and it was made worse by the show's response and exploitation of that moment. Many years later, Shandy revisited the incident in the documentary and said that the way the show presented it did not reflect her experience. She would go on to say she had been drinking heavily, had not eaten properly, and was exhausted from filming, and she remembered only fragments of the night. She described being blacked out and feeling someone atop her and knowing that someone was having sex with her, but she was not having sex, meaning she was not a consenting party to this hookup. She stated that she now views what happened as SA, and rightfully so, and she questioned why the production continued filming rather than intervening when it was so obvious she was not in her right mind. Shandy specifically described feeling that once the situation moved beyond a consensual interaction, the crew should have stepped in. She said she remembered being in a vulnerable state and later waking up to the consequences of footage that had been captured while she was unable to fully understand what was happening, which is so scary. The show's sick producers defended what they did to this poor woman by saying they operated under a documentary style of filming where the contestants were aware that cameras were following them constantly, even to the bathroom if they went with another person, forcing them to sign and give up their right to privacy so that you can pick around the intimate details of their life for content reeks of coercive control and abuse. Not only did Tyra not have the emotional intelligence to sense that something was wrong with this young woman and that she had been violated on camera, but Tyra later further exploited Shandy on the reunion show, making her watch the assault again in front of the audience. And when Shandy couldn't bear to look at the screen,